This is a quick overview of the Weekly Instant Nursery Manager software. There are other tutorial videos covering some of the features in more detail, along with a built-in help file. Once you double-click the shortcut to open the app, you will see the first login screen. Make sure there is an M in the top box and enter a 1 in the bottom box and click Login. These credentials cannot be changed. Once you get to the login screen, use the default credentials by typing an M in the top box and a 1 in the bottom box and click Sign In. These credentials can be changed by clicking Controller Access, then entering the owner password, which by default is 1. Once you are logged in, the main screen is displayed. You should be able to see a child called My Sample. You can see the child's name, date of birth, current age, start date, parents' names, key worker, and also the unique roll number for the child at the top of the main screen. You can click the child's name or parent's name to change details or key worker to switch the child to another carer. Top right, you'll find the child's balance to the end of the current bill period. This is usually to the last Friday of the current month, but you can also set your own term cutoff date by clicking the Tools button bottom left, then Set Term Cutoff Date. The balances will be to this date, allowing you to invoice half-termly or for a full term. You then change this date once the term has ended. At the bottom you have the Tools button. In here you can back up the data to an external drive if using the offline version. With the online version we take all backups for you. You can also change the term cutoff date. Also at the bottom there are buttons for add, delete or skip a week, and to enter or delete a leave date for a child. When the leave date arrives, the child will automatically go into the Leavers section off the main screen. Click View Leavers to access them. Born Between allows you to filter children between two dates. WPV, Workplace Vouchers, is where you can change the names of the suppliers of the vouchers received and flag children as receiving these. Under Emergency you can flag children for various permissions, allowed or not allowed, such as allow photos on social media. You can also change vaccines. The permissions titles can be changed to suit your setting in the management menu and edit permissions or edit illnesses and vaccinations. Special Care allows you to specify sleep times, drinks allowed, room and food prep area notes such as allergies. Council Data allows you to export various details inputted for all the children. Observations allows you to flag children as progressing or mastered for various areas of learning. The titles can be changed. Other Fees allows you to credit or debit the account by a monetary value. You can also add your own note which appears on that month's invoice. With Quick Letter, you can write a letter for a single or a group of children which can then be emailed or printed. The Registers button allows you to create a new register for this, next, or a chosen week. Any created registers are saved so you can view them again if needed. On the right of the main screen there are several buttons. Enter new children to enter new starts. From Credit Control you can run an update for this or next month to see the overall balances of all children. You can also email or print reminders, single or batch, by using the Filters button to choose, for example, owing only. Payments all names. If you have lots of payments to enter you can double-click each child in the list and enter payments received. Statement to date, or statement to term if a term date has been added, shows a statement to the end of the current bill period. Select a group, filter on children in a selected room. All children's invoices, click any week in your billing month once for any child, then click All Children's Invoices to produce an invoice run for the selected month to either email or print them to all parents. This child's invoice, an individual invoice for the current child and selected month to email or print. These invoices change to termly invoices if a term cutoff date has been entered. Quit to close the application. You can click the date bottom right to add appointments or any calendar notes. This is similar to an electronic diary. Just above the attendance box there are several tabs. Attendance is the default view and shows the sessions for this child. Click on EYFE to view funding allocated. There's more detail on this in a separate tutorial or in the help file. Holiday dates. Add dates for any children who will not be attending for the selected dates. This assumes they are still to be charged for the period. Extras. Add extra sessions or other types of extras from the custom list in the management menu. You can also bill extras this child or all children for a selected month. Payments. Add, edit or delete payments for the child you are currently viewing. There is a row of icons top left of the main screen. From left to right, these are Browse View. This shows various information for all children which can be exported or printed. You can also filter on a certain room or other filters before printing or exporting. Show All, the red cross, removes any current filters. Filter Children. You can select various filters. Once a filter is chosen, a text box appears above the sessions to state how many children match this filter. Filter on Marker. If you have added any markers in the Browse View Markers column, you can filter on children that have the relevant marker that you selected. Preview Selection produces a report of any children currently filtered on. If there's no filter selected, all current children will be listed. Parent-to-child link. If a parent has a different surname to a child, this window helps you find the parent's name if not known. Summary and list of used places shows attendance numbers grouped by room from the current week to the last week with sessions booked. One is a summary and one shows more detail. Email parents. You can type your own email and add attachments such as newsletters to send to individuals a selected room or all children. Texting. You can send SMS messages from the system, but credits will need to be purchased from us. The top menus from left to right are Help menu has our contact number, desktop support to generate an ID and password so we can give remote support if you call us. There is also a help file. From the management menu you can add batch weeks. Add a selected week for all children. This is a quick way to add the weeks ahead for all children. It will not add the selected week for a child if they currently have any attendance that week or do not have attendance the previous week. Advanced fee changes. You can adjust the number of days to charge for, even if the weeks have already been added, including adding an emergency closure day. You can also make the whole week chargeable or non-chargeable. Auto move rooms. You can choose the age limits in months for each room and move all children by age groups. Closure days edit. Add closure days and bank holidays if you do not charge for these. As you add sessions, the system checks these records and includes any closures if set in here. Deletes form takes you to a screen showing any children that have left the setting. Edit daily price list. Used to set up, add or edit your sessions offered. Edit ethnic list. Amend the ethnicity list if you need to record ethnicity. Extra types. Used to add or change the list of other type of extra. Language. Edit language list if this needs to be recorded. Setting details. Change your setting address and the invoice footers. Price increase. Run a price increase from a selected future week. You can also experiment if the increase is a set percentage across all sessions. Room group names. Set up your room or group names. Staff. Change staff names or print a list. Edit permissions. Edit your permissions list. These can be set for each child by clicking the emergency button. Edit illnesses and vaccinations. Edit your lists. These can also be applied in emergency envelopes and labels. If you use windowless envelopes or address labels, you can print them from this menu. The safety menu includes options to accident report. Print a report to fill in with the current child's name. Blank information sheet. You can give this to parents to fill in before their child starts. This includes all contact information. Collection passwords. You need the owner password to access this form. You can then enter the passwords that people collecting children must use. Medicine records. Named or blank report for parents to sign before administering medications. Permissions and health allows you to update permissions, vaccines and illnesses for many children in one place. Print child notes. You can print any confidential child notes entered via the Enter New Children window. The occupancy menu includes several useful options. The Filled Places report shows a summary of AM and PM places by room. The numbers are from the current weeks to as far ahead as the attendance weeks have been added. Occupancy report for chosen period. Shows occupancy for a chosen period. Past attendance. This child shows an attendance pattern for a selected period with an option to include fees. Future forecaster. This allows you to print a report showing how many children will be at what age, 6 to 12 months ahead. You can set the age limits yourselves for each room and print summary or detailed. The waiting list is where you can enter children waiting for a place and move them to the main screen once a place is available. The financial menu. Blank invoice creates an invoice with no entries if you need to manually write out an invoice. Deposits allows you to add a refundable deposit which is held until the child leaves. You can also print a list of deposits being held. These do not affect the balances. Export totals. Export various financial information for a select period. Easy Accounts allows you to record very light financial information for your setting. Easy Petty Cash. Set a petty cash balance and keep track of what's left as the balance is used. Email Log displays a log of sent and failed invoice emails. Email Log custom lists sent and failed emails when using the Send This or All Children's email function. Future Fee Income. A report to show total fees due and funding for future weeks. This shows the information as far ahead as weeks have been added. History updates. If financial figures have been sent to, for example, an accountant, you can lock previous weeks from being amended. This cannot be reversed. History Viewer. You can view historic records if the history updater has been run. Invoice Message. Change or set the invoice message which is displayed at the bottom of all invoices. Invoice totals by term. Run a report showing what was invoiced, from and to, any selected week. Last month report shows various financial information for a selected past month including payments. Last 2 years. Shows financial totals and the total AM and PM numbers for the last 2 years. The Payment Lists menu allows you to view all payments for the current child. Payments All Children allows you to view payments between 2 dates for all children. There are also filters in this window so you can filter on, for instance, cash-only payments. Receipts Log lists all receipts entered for the child. Statement Show All shows a statement for all months added for that child on the main screen including future weeks. Detailed Statement shows a statement to date but includes more detail. From the EYFE Info menu. Funding Letters. You can choose a term and print a letter for parents detailing the information about claiming funding. From Export 3+ Children, you can show all funded children. This shows claiming and attending hours and you can filter on 2-year-olds or 3+ children. The results can be exported or printed. Next Term Info shows funding information for a selected term. Choose to filter on 2 or 3+ children. The Miscellaneous menu contains options that don't fit elsewhere. You can print address labels and cloakroom labels, a birthday list for upcoming birthdays, a list of birth certificates recorded and compliment slips. You can export all names and addresses, email addresses or mobile numbers into Excel. Outings allows you to print a condensed emergency list if you take a group of the children out of the setting. All the features and reports covered in this tutorial have more detailed explanations in the built-in help file.